Hey everybody, look what I found. This is Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. Hit it. Hey everybody, it's Jeff. Welcome to another, I can't believe it, another episode of Stay Rad Wine Blog TV. You know, sometimes what happens is when you get samples as a blogger like I am, sometimes they start to pile up, and you might have a producer send you a couple different bottles at a time, and you review one and you look at the other one and you're like, I'm gonna set that aside and I'll save it for a couple weeks down the road or maybe a couple months down the road. I'm waiting for the right time. And so here I am. Gosh, my buddy Craig Camp over at Troon Vineyards, they're making some awesome stuff up in the Rogue Valley of Oregon. This has to have been a little bit over a year ago that he sent me some of their wines. I believe I tried the M&T for you, the Malbec Tannat blend. Well, from that same vintage, this is the 2013 Troon Vineyard Rogue Valley Southern Oregon Malbec. The thing that's kind of nice, that's kind of fun about Troon Vineyards is, I am such a fan of natural wines in general, and I know a lot of people cringe when they hear that term, but when we talk about wines that are very much, pre-industrial, working with native yeast, a lot of times these are foot-trodden wines. They're just, to me, they're a lot more fun. I think it's nice kind of taking wine back to how it's been done for centuries, for millennia, in many cases. And, there are definitely some natural wines out there that aren't that good. There's plenty that are just amazing. And so I always love winemakers and wineries that are always willing to take a risk. And to me, any risk that Troon Vineyard has ever taken seems to have paid off. Here's that Malbec, though. I mean, this is super dark, inky. This is a black wine right here. Really, I guess I would say deep crimson. And as we get near the edges, maybe it's more of like a pinkish type of red, but very, very dark with that color. Now on the nose, I'm getting blackberry, I'm getting boysenberry. I just feel like I'm in this berry field, and I'm just picking these berries right now, and they're just so ripe that I'm barely touching them, and they're just falling apart in my hand, and my hand's just getting stained, maybe the color of this wine. Like, that's what I'm getting on the nose. There's a nice gravelly component there. I'm getting some pencil shavings, and I gotta say, like a little bit of like a little bit of not necessarily like smoked meats, but really deeply roasted meats. It's a very interesting nose, but let's get on this palate here. And again, this was a sample. It's $29 retail. So hit them up. I believe you just Google Troon Vineyard and you'll get their website pretty quickly. Or just go to Oregon, honestly. On the palate. I'm getting this nice combination of stewed dark and red fruits. Some of that blackberry is still coming through, along with some raspberry, along with some cassis, along with some plums of the darker varieties and the lighter varieties, just kind of mishmashed together, but just stewed. I want to say, like, along with those, like, deeply roasted meats, we've got like some fruits just there underneath, just picking up those pan juices and picking up that flavor. Very nice acidity. Little bit of like a funk there, which I'm really liking. This is definitely a what I would call a new world wine with old world sensibilities. Tannins, nice and present, nice and fine, a little bit chalky, and then again, like going back to that pencil shaving on the nose, like I'm getting just a little bit of that, like, sprinkle a little bit of pencil shavings on top of that. There is, again, that meaty type of quality on the palate as well. Gosh, it's one of those things where it's like, man, I'm sorry I sat on this sample for so long, but I think maybe a little bit of age here is giving a slightly different profile that you might have seen from some bloggers that were talking about this exact same wine and this exact same vintage just about a year ago. It might be kind of fun to search those up and see the notes that they've got. I'm certain my buddy James the Wine Guy Melendez has done this one, so it might be fun to kind of compare those notes. But I'm really liking this, and I definitely think that this is something that could go, definitely, I think it would improve over the next 5 to 7 years, but it's really hitting a nice stride right now, and I'm really enjoying this. So thanks again to Troon Vineyard for sending this my way. Leave a comment below. Let me know what y'all think about Troon Vineyard, about natural New World Malbec, about the Rogue Valley in Oregon, or other venues in Oregon that we should be hitting up. And of course, you can always listen to me every single Friday morning in your ear holes on the We Like Drinking podcast, available everywhere. But we love the reviews on Apple Podcasts especially. Till next time, everybody, stay rad.
Stay rad.